I have a thing for steno notebooks. I don't know why. They just appeal to me. Especially this size, the little notepad size. They're very nice. Hello and welcome to Assorted Meeples. I'm Phillip the Meeple on duty, and I'm terribly sorry in advance. I have a dog and a cat trying to murder each other in the background. So, if you hear that, it's okay. They get along. Truly, they get along. But, we'll get right into this. As you can see from the title, today is 7 games that are on my radar. Well, I think it's 7. There might be more in here. These are games that I'm interested in or have some newsworthy things going on with them at the moment. So let's get into it. First one is Andromeda's Edge. Now, this is a game by Cardboard Alchemy. I currently own both of their other existing titles. First one being Mission Catastrophe, which is great fun. Second one being Flamecraft, which is just amazing. It has a depth to it that you would not assume it does for the simple mechanics that it has. I look forward to it's on my solo play, and it's on my 10 by 10 challenges by myself and with Heather. So I'm gonna get at least 20 plays in. Plays up to I think 6, so my entire family can play. And I think my younger 2 might have a little problem just understanding what they're reading. But we're getting there. But that's already distracted. Andromeda's Edge is a worker placement tableau engine builder with asymmetrical factions. This is by Luke Glory and his son Maximus, as well as Peter Von helping. And this is a direct improvement to the Dwellings of Eldervale system that Luke Glory has already put out. And this is an improvement. It is also in space, which I have such a hard time with this one because it looks amazing. It looks great. They have tons of content, which you'll see over this anyways, me just scrolling their page. But to me, it comes down to, do I want sci-fi or do I want the fantasy setting that is Dwellings of Everdell, even if it isn't as good of a system, if there's flaws. I'm okay with the game having flaws. It doesn't make it any less desirable. This is 190 with the all-in deluxe pledge, which, fair point, there's a lot of game here. Each game is going to have, or each faction is going to have their own storage thing, so you grab your thing and go. Super easy setup. Lot going on in the game, but it seems like it is straightforward and moves around. So I'm personally just waiting to see if I hit the lucky winner, and because I did all the puzzles they asked, I'm just waiting to see if I was a lucky winner for that. I'm not going to back this. I just went all in for Marvel United Multiverse. I don't have the kind of money just to throw willy-nilly at this one as much as I want to, and who knows, there's going to be a late pledge. I'm following it on GameFound, so we'll see. The next one is Huang. It is by Reinhard Kninzi. I can't pronounce his name. It re-implements the Yellow and Yangtze board game. It's going to have a couple of extra expansions from the sounds of it. It is tile placement, area control. You are one of the factions battling for ancient China when it all homogenized into what we know as today as China under the Qin Dynasty. But you have 5 or 7 leaders, and you are moving them around to take areas and control things in your favor. It looks really good. Great packaging on this one. I actually looked at the older Yellow and Tigris, or the Yellow and Yangtze River, and I kind of like this one's art direction better. And that's something that's really either going to draw me in or push me away from playing the game. The yellow, the older one, I would not have gone for. This one, I really like what they're doing with it. That one hasn't come out. I don't know how much it was going to be. So I'm watching this one pretty closely. I've never played Yellow and Yangtze or Tigris and Euphrates, which are all in kind of the same basic system. Third game I'm watching is Stratera. It has a scale, and it has story elements to this game. But you're controlling one of 4 factions, 2 of which are terrestrial, 2 of which are the gods, and you're controlling these factions, and you have a scenario where you're trying to create the best outcome for you. This was $80 for the deluxe, which had a wooden scale in it. That's the kind of their unique point. It has a scale in it that you're working to manipulate to your favor. This one did cancel. They launched very early February, and they canceled on the 13th because they were barely at 46% and like a week in, or a week or 2 in, and they were just like, we're not going to reach our funding, so we're going to cancel now. They're trying to be open and honest as they possibly can. What drew me to this was the scale, the fact that there's story elements in it where you're going to be interacting and telling a story. They do plan on coming back, and this is also a Czech company. I'm Bohemi, like Brea, my last name is Bohemi. When I find Czech companies, I kind of tend to like, ooh, what are they doing? Or Czech people doing things, I like to check in and see what they're actually doing. But yeah, that one canceled, so I'm still watching this one, still watching that. Scholars of the South Tigris, it's just going to take my money. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, it's the next game in the trilogy of the South Tigris by Garphill Games. It is a dice bag builder. I remember learning more about it, but you're going to be in, I think it's Baghdad, and you're going to be collecting knowledge and stuff like that. And you're going to be using your dice pool as your workers that you set around the board and collect the, do believe it's like ancient texts and things like that. Because this trilogy is focusing on the like 900s, I think roughly is the time period around the Baghdad area, and they were flourishing and having a really great time while the rest of the world rest of Europe was stumbling around in the dark. But I look forward to it. It looks really great. In doing my research for this episode, I stumbled across a game called Philosophy, which looks like it went on Kickstarter, or not on Kickstarter, on GameFound. But I found the late pledge on GameFound anyways, and it had a print play, so I've already got it printed out. I need to finish putting it together later today. But it is a simple game in the lines of think like Hive or what are some of the other ones that I know of where it's very simple strategy, very few moving parts, or very few parts altogether. And all you're trying to do is you're putting your ideas on the board, and when those go into action on the conversation, it's moving pieces around. If you ever line 3 of your pieces up, you win the game. If on your turn you can't put a piece down, you automatically lose the game. Looks like a really fun tactical game. It's 2-player only. Like I said, I've already got the print and play made up. I just need to stick it to a foam board and try it out here directly. Really simple rules. Looks like it has one of those deep... What I like is the tiles, it's on a square. The tiles have a target that it's going to move, and it has a direction it's going to move it. So you're pushing and pulling everything. I highly recommend looking into it. Primal the Awakening is still open for late pledges. They're talking about shipping in May, and I am insanely curious. This would be my first boss battler with deck building elements in there and a campaign. I love the minis. I love the look of this game. The boss battler is really unique in that you're not moving around a grid trying to be tactical. Well, you're trying to be tactical. You put the boss in the middle of this area, and you have the 4 quadrants around it that you can move your guys around, and they're going to swing around and attack and do stuff like that. I love this concept. It's very interested in it. I'm waiting to find out whether I can do this one or not, but I need to pull the trigger here soon and talk to my wife about it a bit more. Because I really love her, and I enjoy being married to my wife, so I consult her before I buy games. The last one on this list that is worth mentioning is Holy Grail Games folded. They declared bankruptcy. There are all sorts of wild harebrained theories of what actually went on. I don't know. I'm not going to wade into that stuff. I am an all-in pledge for Rallyman Dirt. I got the Gearhead, so I was getting all the Rallyman GT and all the Dirt stuff. So I was getting everything. Right now my game's in Montreal. I can't do anything to get it. The way France does bankruptcy or insolvency is very interesting, and I'm learning a little bit as I go. So yeah, I also just realized I did not turn on my light panels. So what you have is the light from my overheads, and I'm not sure that's going to do wonders for this video. I'm terribly sorry at this point. With a Holy Grail, I'm flustered by the situation in that this game is already like 3 or 4 years overdue. They didn't act like anything was wrong. They shipped out newer Kickstarters first, which so that still goes on them. I don't care what your shipping company did. You chose to go with a company that you didn't feel 100% with for your logistics. No, this isn't entirely on you. No, this is not. You are not free of blame on this one. And I refuse to be upset, and there's some people being darn right nasty. I'm really hoping, and I joined a group that is trying their best to figure out if we have any rights or anything like that, and I'm even digging a little into the whole deal. So I'm watching that really closely. Guys at back Copenhagen or Copenhagen City, I'm terribly sorry. People who still don't have their game, I'm right there with you of any of their games. It's a really bad situation. I really wish before they declared bankruptcy, they asked for help with shipping. I'm pretty sure at this point, people would have either threw a fit or they would have just thrown their money in to get their game shipped. And I would have liked that option before you declared bankruptcy and really put us in a pinch as far as what rights I have for getting my game. But that's the 7 games that I've been watching real closely right now. There are some others. There's another STL file for minis coming up. There's a few others that I've got my eye on, but I didn't really have enough information on, and these are the ones that really stick out to me. So I don't know what games you guys are looking at. Go ahead and hit me up in the description or comments below of what games you're excited to see either show up. Oh, Sweet Mess is another one. It was bought by Fantasia. I'll probably have more on that soon. I'm hoping to make these on my radars a regular thing here in the future where I talk about games that excite me and I'm trying to get a hold of. So anyways, I will see you guys next time. Hit us up in the comments with games you're excited about. And till then, we'll see you later. All right. Bye.
If you like what you just saw, please support us by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel for more great gaming content.